It is a week since the budget. It seems to have gone down OK with the markets and Labour MPs. How are you feeling?
I think it's been an absolute car crash. Her third car crash, the first being the original budget last year. The run-up to this budget was an absolute shambles. And the reality is they're taxing tens of billions every year extra from hard-working Brits in order to fund Benefit Street. And they're borrowing an extra £60 billion above what they forecast to borrow back in March. And this is, in growth terms, it's not going to help growth. Businesses are absolutely despairing. I'm hearing from them. People have stopped hiring. They're stopping investing. It's a catastrophe.
Would you do a pact with the Tories?
No, the only thing that the Tories need to do is to recognise that they've had their time after a couple of 100 years. They've blown it, and they should step aside and let reform take on and defeat the hard socialists and the communists that seem to be on the left side of politics now.
Well, the polls, according to the polls, it is not a dead certain that you're going to win. You're going to need someone. I can't see you teaming up with Zach Polanski. You're going to potentially need the Tories, aren't you?
No, we're leading the polls by 10 points, which is as much or more than Labour did.
That's not right for all the polls, but carry on.
Well, if you look at the average, that's about it, which is similar to what Labour did last time around with first past the post. That's enough. We've got a long way to go, and I think we'll just keep working hard. But ultimately, the Tory brand, look, they had the chance and they've blown it, and we're out competing them. We're beating them every week in by-elections. So, but
you say there's a problem with the Tory brand. You're taking up quite a few washed-up Tory MPs, aren't you?
Well, as long as the people, you see, the brand is done, but some individuals who believe in our values and our principles. They recognise that we are the future. That's the difference. Whereas, when a brand is done, a brand is done, and their brand is done. People will not forgive, and they won't forget the damage they did to the economy, overtaxing, over-regulating, not stopping the boats, all of these things, allowing legal immigration to soar out of control, and people won't forget that.
But I guess, as you say, there is a kind of natural alliance between you guys and the Conservatives on policy in many ways. Wouldn't it just be more honest to say that these sorts of talks are happening at some level? You say you're going to be straight with people.
We are, and they're not happening at any level, and they won't happen at any level.
They're not happening at any level at all.
None at all. Most of the parliamentary Conservative Party are really sort of, they're more towards the Lib Dems. They don't agree with our policies. We need to leave the ECHR. We've got to scrap the Human Rights Act. We've got to cut vast amounts of wasteful, the Human Rights Act, that's right, the HRA. And we have got to scrap large amounts of wasteful government spending, a whole bunch of stuff that, frankly, most of the Conservative Parliamentary Party don't agree with.
So you're telling me right now, if there was a hung parliament, you would rather that Keir Starmer was Prime Minister than go in some sort of deal?
There won't be a hung parliament. There'll be a...
No, but if there was right now...
You're talking in hypotheticals. I'm talking in our ambition.
It's a question,
and that's
though.
what we're going for.
But don't you think...
It's a hypothetical. I'm not dealing in hypotheticals. You asked me are the negotiations going on?
But don't you think some of your supporters are going to disagree with that attitude, saying, that at no
far
level
from it.
would you
Let me tell you, I know exactly what our supporters want us to be true to our word, stick to our policies, work hard, keep winning by-elections, do really well next May, and reinforce the point. And, in the same way the Tories told us to stand down sort of last year in the general election, now, frankly, it's their turn just to step aside. They've had the go, they've blown it, and competition's a good thing, and we're replacing them. Move on.
So are you saying the story in the FT today is just completely untrue? This is a story about Nigel Farage saying to a donor that there could be a pact.
Either made up in the imagination of the journalist or in the imagination of maybe a couple of donors who wanted to hear something different from what they actually heard. Sometimes that happens in life. It's fine. I mean, just stuff happens. We're just moving on. We're not sort of in any way distracted by this. I know it fills a newspaper on a front page when it's a quiet day, but
And you think stories about Nigel Farage being racist at school are made up as well, do you?
Yes, I do. I mean, I think it's a bunch of twaddle by a bunch of people.
I mean,
who
it just sort of feels like you're saying that things you don't agree with are just fake news.
Frankly, those two things are fake news. End of story. I mean, people who come forward with a political bent, who didn't say it 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. It's just, look, this is fine. We're coming under extra scrutiny because people don't want us to win, and so they'll throw any mud against the wall to make it stick. It's the nature of it. We're winning by-elections every week. I think voters are voting with their feet and saying, forget it.
Have you had any conversations with Nigel Farage about those claims, about what he said at school? You must have been uncomfortable when you read them.
No, I wasn't uncomfortable at all because I knew they were completely untrue. I've said very clearly on the media.
You didn't even have to ask him.
It's nonsense. It's nonsense. It's twaddle, and that's that. I discuss lots of things with Nigel lots of times every day.
And just to remind people, this is 20 people who have spoken to The Guardian claiming that he made racist and anti-Semitic comments at school. Would you be interested in Robert Jenrick joining the party?
Oh, I mean, I think Robert might be the next leader of the Conservative Party from everything one's hearing. Look, we don't talk about any discussions with anybody. We don't give a running commentary. Who knows what may happen with the future with anybody? But I'm certainly not giving you any confirmation either way.
A senior Reform source has told the Times that it would be the best thing for Robert to join Reform.
All this stuff, people are getting very, very excited about stuff that I think is just. I mean, that's 3 stories you've told me just now, all of which, frankly, I think it's just nonsense. It's twaddle. Is it April the 1st, Ali?
No, not quite. Nearly. Thank you so much, Richard Tice. I know you've got to go, but thanks for talking to us tonight.
Thank you.